On August 8, 2014, a YouTube user known as Simon Predge uploaded something that would become the subject of countless debates and theories, a video titled "Grave Robbing for Morons." What makes this video particularly unsettling isn't just its content, but the dark mysteries surrounding its origin. In this chilling footage, we witness a young man delivering what appears to be a comprehensive tutorial on grave robbing and selling human remains through illegal channels. His exact words are deeply disturbing.
By the eyes or the nose, you pull out, put your finger all the way in. There is nothing there that will hurt you at all. Or you have to make sure of that. There's nothing that can hurt you. Do not be afraid. Pull it out like that. Just not pull it by the teeth, or else it'll break out like that. You will have holes.
Here's where things get really interesting. To this day, no one has been able to confirm the identity of the person in this footage. Our investigation reveals that the internet community remains fiercely divided into two camps: those who believe they're watching authentic footage of a real grave robber, and others convinced it's an obscure horror short created purely for shock value. During our research, we've uncovered compelling evidence that actually supports both interpretations. What we can tell you with absolute certainty is the age of this mysterious tape. Our team tracked down the earliest online mention of grave robbing for morons to a now defunct horror VHS retailer called Shocking Videos. Back in April 2003, they listed the tape with this fascinating description. What we have here is genuine camcorder footage of a drunken teenage stutterer giving a half-hour lecture on how to steal body parts from graveyards for fun and profit while holding a fresh, rotting skull in his hands. But wait, there's more. Through careful analysis of the video's background details, we've managed to narrow down its creation to the late 1980s. At exactly 5 minutes and 43 seconds into the footage, you can spot two crucial pieces of evidence: a VHS box for the 1987 film Evil Dead 2, and even more specifically, an issue of Horror FX magazine. This wasn't just any issue. It was part of a special Fangoria Horror Magazine edition released in July 1989, giving us a pretty precise window for when this footage was created. Now, here's where the mystery deepens. The abundance of horror memorabilia scattered throughout the video suggests we might be dealing with an passionate horror fan attempting to create something deliberately unsettling. While much of the grave robbing advice feels disturbingly authentic, like the detailed instructions for removing skulls from partially decomposed bodies, other segments venture into almost comical territory. Take this bizarre quote about handling witnesses.
Never leave witnesses. If you have to knock them out so that way they think it's a dream.
These inconsistencies have led some investigators to suggest that the subject had no real grave robbing experience and was simply fabricating content for shock value. However, others point out that the skull shown in the video appears far too detailed to be a prop. The strange mix of practical and absurd advice could actually support another theory, that this might have been someone's first attempt at grave robbing, embellishing their limited experience to appear more knowledgeable. Let us share something particularly eerie we discovered. Near the end of the tape, the subject nearly reveals his identity.
Okay, this was made by Anthony. Well, as a matter of fact, let's forget the last name.
This led our investigation to a 1999 case where a man named Anthony Casamassima was arrested in New York for stealing an expensive stained glass window from a cemetery. While initially promising, several details don't align. Casamassima's charges never mentioned body desecration. He specialized in stealing valuable artifacts. More significantly, at 40 years old in 1999, he would have been around 30 when the tape was made, which doesn't match the subject's clearly younger appearance. During our investigation, we uncovered another compelling theory involving Craig A. Bradley, arrested in 1995 for stealing human remains from an upstate New York cemetery. The timing fits perfectly. Bradley would have been approximately 24 when the grave robbing video was filmed, matching the subject's youthful appearance and even bearing some physical resemblance. However, there's one critical detail that doesn't align. Bradley doesn't have the distinctive stutter heard throughout the original video.
It's winter months. Don't usually pay.
Dig for you and everything. So you dig and your friend digs, and then it's another friend digs. You have to find someplace really secluded, so that way there's no interruptions. Okay.
Speaking of that stutter, internet experts have extensively analyzed this aspect, with one notable comment stating, "Grave robber or actor, the stutter is real." I've known several people with really bad stutters, and it's such a specific, uncontrollable behavior that makes it hard to fake. This kid's stutter feels unique and authentic. I've never seen an actor in a movie fake a stutter that felt this real. While there's always the possibility that the creator may eventually come forward with the truth, for now, both the identity of this mysterious figure and the authenticity of this deeply unsettling instructional video remain unresolved. The volleyball incident. On July 2nd, 2017, an anonymous user posted a thread on 4chan's paranormal board asking, "How does one live after taking the red pill on the 2006 volleyball incident?" The most popular theory suggests this wasn't just any incident. Supposedly, the American government was behind it all. The story claims they were attempting an assassination at a high school volleyball game, but everything went horribly wrong. Young volleyball players got caught in the middle of it, and to keep it quiet, the government allegedly silenced the media and paid off the families. Now, while we all know the government has its secrets, let's be real. This theory seems pretty out there. Keeping something this massive under wraps for years? Someone would have talked by now. A more down-to-earth explanation points to the Mandela effect. You know, when large groups of people share the same false memory. Interestingly, we did find a real incident from 2006 in the same region. The Platte Canyon High School case involved Dwayne Roger Morrison, a 53-year-old who took 7 female students hostage and attacked them, ultimately killing 1. It happened on September 27, 2006, the exact same date as our mysterious photo. Being in Colorado might explain why Midwesterners remember hearing about it, but here's the thing. There was no volleyball game, and only 1 tragic death occurred. But wait, there's more. During our research, we stumbled upon a 2017 post on Above Top Secret that really caught our attention. Someone was discussing their plans to create a hoax about multiple school shootings in small towns during 2006, with all the evidence mysteriously vanishing. But that leaves us with one burning question. Those images some ordinary gamers found, where did they really come from? After 7 years, this internet mystery might stay exactly that, a mystery. The post referenced a supposed mass shooting during a high school volleyball game in 2006, where a gunman killed 14 people at a school in either South Dakota or Nebraska. However, a search for information on the event yields nothing. No news articles, no official casualty reports, nothing. The only trace left of it is found on conspiracy websites and occasional Reddit threads, where people question whether it ever happened at all. It's as if the entire event never existed or was somehow erased from history. Despite the lack of information online, many claim to remember hearing about it. Some even say they were near Mount Rushmore at the time and recall hearing a radio report about it. For years, the only piece of evidence circulating the web was a still frame from a home video purportedly taken just before the incident. The frame displayed the date, September 27th, 2006, though its authenticity remains uncertain. Then, a breakthrough occurred. Some ordinary gamers, a YouTuber known for exploring dark web content, stumbled upon more evidence while browsing a 4chan-like site. He discovered disturbing images of a bloodied school gym, allegedly taken shortly after the shooting had occurred. The photographs suggested that the event might have been more real than anyone had previously thought. We discovered something strange in the bottom right corner of the image. The text, CBI, not for release, which we carefully preserved while blurring everything else. This discovery sparked some wild theories across the internet, and here's where things get interesting. On March 20th, 2015, a YouTube channel called Lang Marine uploaded a short video titled Fresno LE Harassment Ford Crew Cab that stalked me in my residence numerous times. The video was just 3.5 minutes long and showed the same vehicle passing by the camera twice in that time. The person behind the upload was 51-year-old John Lang, a former Marine living in Fresno, California. The footage came from a security camera he had set up outside his home. In the video's description, John gave some important background on the strange and unsettling situation he was dealing with. According to Lang, his problems began after he criticized how the Fresno Police Department and Fresno Fire Department spent their budgets online. He believed they were now stalking and harassing him in retaliation. Lang claimed that the Ford truck in the video was owned by either the Fresno Police or the Sheriff's Office. The following day, he uploaded another video, this time showing a man walking his dog outside Lang's house. In the video, the dog and its owner briefly stopped in front of the house before moving on, nothing out of the ordinary. However, Lang insisted that the man was a plain-clothed police officer and that he was conditioning Lang's dog, making sure it wouldn't react if the same officer later broke into his home. Over the next 10 months, Lang kept uploading videos showing suspicious activity captured by his security camera. One video showed a man in plain clothes approaching his home, looking around, and then quickly walking away. Another video caught a police truck stopping outside his house for a few seconds before driving off. But the most unsettling footage came from a black van that parked outside his home. The van's occupants filmed the house with a large camera for about 30 seconds before speeding off. Lang believed that the device they were using was a thermal imaging sensor, and he thought they were trying to figure out whether he was home or not. By January 2016, Lang was fully convinced that the Fresno police were planning to kill him. On January 16th, he posted a video showing a cleaning company van parked outside his house. In the video's description, he wrote, "If I turn up missing or dead tomorrow, remember this van. I think I saw a couple of guys sneak out the side door and into the building when it was parked in the carport this afternoon. I've been causing the city of Fresno a lot of problems recently, which I now regret." Unfortunately, this would be the last video Lang posted on YouTube. Just a few days later, firemen discovered his body inside a burning home. He had multiple stab wounds. The news of his death was a shock to those following his story, but it was only the beginning of a much larger conspiracy that would soon unfold. When the news of his death first came out, reports claimed that he had several stab wounds on his upper back. If this was true, it would support Lang's fears that he was targeted for assassination, and it would point the finger at the Fresno Police Department as the prime suspects. But when the Fresno coroner released the autopsy report, it told a different story. It only mentioned 3 self-inflicted stab wounds on Lang's chest, with no mention of any wounds on his back. So, what happened? Was the original report a mistake, or were the Fresno police trying to cover something up? This difference in information sparked a lot of anger and led to a petition calling for the case to be reopened, but it remains closed to this day. The John Lang case remains a mystery to this day. Was he truly being stalked, or was he simply struggling with severe mental health issues and paranoia? After looking into it, it seems the truth might lie somewhere in between. One thing we can't ignore is the reputation of the Fresno police. The department has long been known for its corruption. In fact, one Reddit user shared a story about the FPD saying, "My friend's dad worked for the Fresno police for decades, and back in the late 90s, Jerry Dyer showed up with a few officers and threatened him, so honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if the cops were intimidating this guy too." So, did the Fresno PD target Lang? It's possible, but what's more likely is that Lang's paranoia grew over time as he became more unstable. Looking at the evidence, the man walking his dog seems to just be, well, walking his dog. The claim that he was somehow conditioning Lang's dog in a few seconds seems far-fetched. As for the suspicious van, that can be explained too. The device seen in the video was actually just a film camera on a gimbal, not some high-tech thermal imaging equipment. And the reason they were filming from a vehicle? They were probably independent filmmakers who didn't have the right permits from the city. Our team has looked into the mystery behind John Lang's death, and we think his mental health might have played a big role. The biggest clue is that he turned off all the cameras in his house the day before he died. Isn't that strange? The last video saved was of him holding a kitchen knife just sitting there. When the firefighters got to his house, they found all the doors and windows blocked from the inside. How could a killer have gotten out without moving anything? It doesn't make sense. We've wondered a lot about what really happened, but it's been over 8 years now. If there was some big plan to murder him, wouldn't we know about it by now? In the end, the simplest answer might be the truth. John Lang was struggling and in a dark place when he died. Strange sounds in the sky. For more than 50 years, something strange has been happening around the world. People everywhere keep hearing weird noises coming from above them. Some say it sounds like metal scraping against metal. Imagine someone pulling a heavy metal table across your upstairs floor. But that's not all. The sound that most people talk about is different. It's more like a deep, constant humming noise that just won't go away, no matter what. It stays there, in the background, driving people crazy. The weirdest part? These sounds keep showing up in different places, and nobody can explain why. The sound is described by those who hear it as constant and highly irritating. The BBC even reports that the humming noise has been connected to at least one suicide in the UK. But while there are certainly many genuine cases of people hearing this strange hum, many others are either made up or can be easily explained. For example, the metallic screeching noise some people hear could just be from a nearby railroad. With a long freight train turning a corner and causing vibrations. Some of these trains are so long that it can take several minutes for them to pass. In another video, there's a sound that seems like a very loud trumpet. The The person who posted the video called it a judgment trumpet, referring to the one described in Christian faith. But considering the bad weather in the footage, it's more likely just a broken tornado siren. Some of these videos are clearly fake, with the mysterious sounds added in to attract views. If you look closely, you'll see that the birds in the area aren't reacting to the loud, strange noise. This would be unusual if the sound was truly as overwhelming as it seems, because birds have much better hearing than humans and would likely respond to it. That being said, there are still thousands of reports from people that can't be easily dismissed or called fake. Unlike the examples we've discussed, most of the authentic-sounding reports involve a constant low-frequency hum. This odd phenomenon seems to have started in Bristol, England in the late 1970s. The city council received hundreds of complaints from residents about a strange noise that could be heard at night. One local newspaper even asked readers, "Have you heard the hum?" and nearly 800 people responded that they had. Back then, French scientists suggested that the sound might be coming from the ocean, with continuous waves possibly vibrating the ocean floor. This could have explained the hum in Bristol, but as time went on, more and more people from around the world started reporting similar disturbing humming noises. It seems that the Bristol hum is still being heard today. There are many theories trying to explain this strange global phenomenon, and some even dive into some really wild conspiracies like aliens or secret underground civilizations in the hollow earth. However, the most reasonable explanation we found suggests that the sounds might be more connected to the listeners themselves than to their surroundings. Factors like hypersensitive hearing or early signs of conditions like tinnitus could be key contributors. Another possible cause is the growing levels of anxiety and stress. A BBC researcher also pointed out that she only heard the hum when she was exhausted and stressed, which adds weight to the idea that the hum could be a psychosomatic or stress-related phenomenon. During our research, we came across a video that claimed to capture the strange humming sound, but when we watched it, there was nothing out of the ordinary, just typical environmental noise. It's possible the person who recorded it was actually hearing something inside their own body, misinterpreting it as an external sound. This would back up the theory that stress could be a factor, but this still doesn't explain the hundreds or even thousands of other videos that clearly show the hum. With so many different factors to consider in each individual case, it's unlikely we'll have a clear answer anytime soon. Nicole Allen went to a dollar store on Lyon Avenue in Kettering and bought a pink princess wand for her 2-year-old daughter. The wand, however, had a strange name: Evil Stick. It's an odd choice for a toy, but it probably didn't raise any red flags for Nicole at the time. What made it even more unusual was the description on the package, claiming the wand would bring luster, beauty, and wonderful music. The box of the wand also had an image of Sakura Kinomoto, the main character from the popular Japanese anime Cardcaptor Sakura. In the show, Sakura is a magical princess, so seeing this cute character on the box likely made Nicole feel even more comfortable buying it. But little did she know, she couldn't have been more wrong about the toy's true nature. The character on the box suggested the product might have come from Asia, and looking back, the Evil Stick did have a tiny resemblance to one of the wands Sakura uses in the show. It was clear that the Evil Stick was a bootleg version of what should have been a much more official product. But in the end, the Evil Stick turned out to be much darker than just a poorly made item. Rather than its unofficial counterparts, the manufacturers of the Evil Stick bootleg had free control to do whatever they desired. And it's what they decided to do with this liberty that was absolutely disturbing. You see, the exterior of the wand had a shiny foil placed in, likely to replicate the shiny glow in the official wand. However, this foil was hiding an image beneath it, and when Nicole's little girl unintentionally removed the foil while playing with the wand, she was confronted with a downright horrifying image of a creepy-looking woman slitting her own wrist. This must have been terrifying for the little girl, but the horror didn't end there. When she pressed the button on the wand, instead of the wonderful music it promised, it played a chilling, haunting laugh. Worse still, the button also activated a light behind the creepy image, so even if she hadn't peeled off the foil, she would have seen the disturbing picture. When Nicole discovered the terrifying truth, she went public with her findings, hoping to get the creepy toy banned from stores. News of the evil stick quickly went viral, but the toy remained as mysterious as it was unsettling. The disturbing image inside the wand was eventually traced back to French photographer Butcher Ludwig, known for creating some of the most nightmarish artwork imaginable. Nearly all of his work is too graphic for YouTube, and even a quick glance at most of it is enough to trigger your fight or flight response. As for why someone would steal such a gory, horror-filled image for a children's toy, no one really knows. The only other detail people could learn about the evil stick from its packaging was that it was made in China. That's it. There was no manufacturer's name listed. Some people even looked up the universal product code on the barcode, but found nothing useful. It's one of those cases that really makes you wonder what other disturbing secrets might be hiding inside cheap children's toys.